Good day, IT professionals. Today I'm going to discuss a practice used every day and one you better have dialed in, incident management. Let's simplify what everyone else seems to overcomplicate. I'm going to guide you through the full life cycle of an incident, the roles involved, and how each is extremely important to have their right skill set stable, how prioritization works in the incident management practice, and how this practice operates in a modern ITSM environment. My name is Bob. I spent over 20 years implementing ITIL processes primarily on the ServiceNow platform, where I was a platform owner at multiple Fortune 500 companies. I am both ITIL and ServiceNow CSA certified. I create these videos to take the complexity out of ITSM and turn them into something practical, modern, and usable. If you want real-world experience backed by someone who has actually implemented service management at multiple Fortune 500 organizations and provide you tips and tricks along the way, then you are in the right place. By the end of this module, you will understand how to operate the full incident life cycle from detection and logging through categorization, prioritization, escalation, resolution, and closure. How the CSL integrates with the service desk and incident management practice. Apply real-world triage and coordination techniques to restore services quickly, reduce business impact, and collaborate effectively with service desk, resolver groups, and major incident management teams. This course is designed for service desk agents and owners, service management leaders, process owners, and service owners who support services such as server, application, database, and network infrastructure. So let's kick things off. Welcome to the ITIL Incident Management. In this lesson, we are going to define exactly what incident management is, why it matters to every organization. This one process separates high-performing IT service management teams from everyone else, and that it is a good, repeatable process to showcase the value of IT. And do not to forget to subscribe and comment as you see fit, you know the drill, as it helps my channel. I also have a link below to the website where I post these presentations, offer free guides, and have an incident management bundle to reference and provide consulting services. So what is incident management? It is the practice of restoring normal service operation as quickly as possible to minimize business disruption. In general terms, it's when some service was working and now it is not. The moment a disruption occurs, whether it is a full outage or a minor degradation, the practice activates. The goal is not root cause analysis at this time, but to get rapid restoration of the service disrupted. Every incident must be logged, classified, prioritized, and communicated through a structured and repeatable process. That structure protects service levels, user trust, and business productivity. When incident management fails, the business feels it immediately. Lost productivity, cascading failures, and reputation is at risk. It is a key process that must be disciplined and feeds problem management with the intelligence needed to eliminate recurring failures. There is a definite difference between a regular incident and a major incident. The distinction determines the response posture, escalation path, and communication cadence. A standard incident is any unplanned interruption to a service, and that the handling takes on a key support role and task. However, a major incident is a high-impact event requiring escalation with a dedicated response structure, including major incident manager, a technical bridge, and executive-level communication until the service is restored. The key item to remember is major incidents require structured communication at defined intervals and a mandatory post-incident review. I would recommend within 5 business days when it's fresh in people's mind, whereas a normal incident, if you will, is restoration of services that don't impact critical services. Incident management creates business value by ensuring every disruption is handled with speed, consistency, and transparency. This practice protects employee productivity and maintains trust in the IT operational support model and to its customers. Value is measured through reduced downtime, SLA adherence, response and restoration trends, and user satisfaction. Incident management also provides full lifecycle visibility from detection to closure, ensuring nothing is lost, misclassified, or delayed. Finally, incident data feeds problem management and continuous improvement, helping the organization eliminate recurring failures and strengthen service reliability. Let's walk through the core responsibilities of the incident management practice. These responsibilities span the full life cycle from detection to post-incident review. Right out of the gate, every incident must be logged immediately with accurate timestamps, effective service details, and user information. Service desk agents must apply the standardized impact and urgency formula, commonly known as the priority classification metrics, and reference the critical services list before final priority has been assigned. Communication is not optional. It's a core obligation within the desk to its user community. Users and stakeholders must receive updates at defined intervals. Every investigative step, workaround, and resolution action must be documented to maintain a complete audit trail for future use. Finally, for P1 incidents, and in some organizations P2s are included as well, an elevated major incident management process kicks into gear. Once service is restored, then a post-incident review must be triggered. Best practice I've seen is within 5 business days to get ample information that will feed the problem management practice. Incident management only works when roles are clearly defined and consistently executed. Let's take a look at each role and its responsibilities. Starting with the service desk agent, it's the first point of contact when an incident occurs, responsible for capturing, classifying, prioritizing, and attempting first contact resolution. The incident manager oversees the full life cycle, ensuring timely resolution and managing escalations for P1 and sometimes P2 incidents. I've seen large organizations have an incident lifecycle coordinator or an ILC to track P2 through P4s, where we'll talk about major incident management in the next slide. Resolver groups, or L2 administrative support SMEs, or L3 engineering, in some cases could be engaged when there's a cloud service or third-party support required. These service owners represent supporting the services that are accountable for restoration. They collaborate across the teams when multi-team incidents occur. When a critical defined service disruption occurs, then the major incident manager leads the P1 bridge, drives recovery activities, and ensures executive level communication transpires. The change manager ensures emergency changes that are associated and implemented safely when it's required to restore services during a major incident event, and coordinates with the incident manager and technical teams on restoration actions with proper change control. And finally, the problem manager will be engaged post-restoration to ensure recurrent issues are investigated and resolved permanently. So incident documentation during the event is vital to capture so it can help feed this problem management post-restoration practice. The priority classification matrix is one of the most important tools in incident management. Every incident must be classified immediately using the standardized matrix that combines business impact and urgency. I provided a best practice model, but every organization will have to look at their structured services and may adjust not only the classification, but response and restoration targets. However, this chart will provide a good starting point on how to classify and obtain incident priority assignment. Let's not forget the critical services list reference is in there as well. The CSL will assist in classification effort, especially when mission or business critical services are impacted. This single decision determines the SLA clock, escalation path, and communication cadence. In ServiceNow and other tools, this matrix calculation can be included to take the ambiguity out of the mix. The key takeaway is that when a service is impacted, the priority is clearly established and possibly elevated with no judgment call required. The critical services list is tightly integrated with the incident management practice, as stated in the last slide. It removes the guesswork out of the moment the critical service is impacted. Any outage to a CSL service becomes a P1 and degradation becomes a P2. Again, every organization may have their own spin on P1 versus P2, but that's a good starting point. When a P1 escalation workflow is triggered, it includes major incident management engagement, stakeholder notifications, and communications to leadership. The CSL defines service owners, assignment groups, vendor contacts, and communication expectations. It is the backbone of a consistent, high-quality incident response, especially tied to key services that have been provided and mission or business critical services that support customers. Now let's walk through the incident management workflow. This is the structured, repeatable life cycle that ensures no incident is lost or stalled. We begin with detection and reporting from users or monitoring tools. I cannot stress this enough. If there is a critical service defined, there must be some form of alert generation of that service that's auto-creating an incident record. An incident record is captured. the service desk logs and classifies the incident, referencing the CSL. If the desk cannot resolve it, then the ticket is routed to the appropriate resolver group and an investigation begins at that level. Once service is restored, the user is notified and the resolution is documented. For P1 and P2 incident events, a post-incident review is required. Every step has a defined owner, clear entry and exit criteria, and a documented handoff to make sure this workflow runs smoothly. Incident management performance is measured through KPIs that reflect speed, quality, and consistency. These metrics show how effective the team restores the services and minimizes business disruptions. Organizations may have others in the mix, but my goal here was to provide the standard kind of best practices that you should target that every organization should at least start with. This includes 100% of incidents log, no doubt about that. A 15-minute P1 response target, 99.9 or 3/9 availability for critical services, and a PIR completion within 5 business days. These KPIs drive accountability and continuous improvement. They also show customers that IT is on top of their game to improve service support when a disruption occurs. Metrics are vital to look at historical trends so they can improve the service overall. Incident management governance ensures the practice remains effective and aligned to business expectations. It is very important that every organization takes this practice very seriously as it drives improved availability of the service and ultimately improved customer service. None of us support folks like it when a major incident occurs, let's be honest. However, there is a structured, repeatable process that we can leverage. It will help reduce the amount of time spent on the event, which is what we all want. Restore the services, but get off the call. Governance includes operating standards, SLA reviews, breach trend analysis, and structured PIR action tracking. Recurring incident patterns feed problem management for root cause elimination, or at least workarounds. This is where incident management becomes a continuous improvement engine. Keep it going, keep looking at it from start to finish and where it can improve. Incident management doesn't go away, it only gets better, hopefully, over time. Incident management does not operate alone. It integrates with the service desk, monitoring event management, service level management, change enablement, the CMDB, and problem management. It doesn't work alone. These integrations, or collaborations, I should say, create end-to-end service protection and ensure that every incident is handled with full context and organizational alignment. I wanted to provide some context to connect ITIL incident management theory to real-world execution within ServiceNow. The incident management practice is powered by a set of core tables that store workflow data, user information, configuration items, SLAs, and related tasks. At the foundation is the task table, the parent table that provides shared workflow attributes like assignment state, SLA, user information. Every incident inherits these attributes because the incident table extends the task table. This is where the main incident data lives, including fields like category, subcategory, priority, short description, and resolution details. ServiceNow also has supporting tables to complete the life cycle. User and group data come from sysuser and sysuser group, respectively. Ensuring that every incident is tied to the correct caller and assignment group is the key. Finally, the CMDB CI table contains the configuration items that make up the impacted service. This is where incident management connects to the CMDB, enabling impact analysis, dependency mapping, and accurate priority assignment. Together, these tables form the backbone of incident management within ServiceNow, ensuring every disruption is logged, tracked, escalated, and resolved with full audit trail ability. To summarize, incident management is a structured, user-focused practice that restores services quickly, protects business productivity, and builds trust within IT. Every incident must be logged, classified accurately, escalated appropriately, and communicated clearly to leadership and to its customers. The critical services list removes ambiguity and should be referenced on every disruption event by the service desk agents. Governance and PIRs drive improvement, and integration with other ITIL practices creates a resilient service ecosystem. You now understand the purpose of incident management, the workflows, the roles involved, and how the practice operates in real environments. As always, this presentation will be posted on our website, see bottom right-hand corner, and I have an incident management bundle to help you with your onboarding of this practice. Thank you for hanging with me, and be sure to check out my ITSM content library on each of the practices as I post them. And visit onboardingitsm.com for more coaching, as well as I provide consultant services if your organization needs a little hand-holding in your service management journey. Thank you, and I appreciate your time. Have a great day.